I believe more than the Tea Party or the Conservatives, the group of people who would want Sarah Palin to be the president of the United States is the enemy, or are the enemies of America. Now, there are several things she will do to help them to bag America and enslave all of us. First of all, somebody will say that they'll threaten Trig, or say something ugly about Trig. Say Russia says something strange about Trig. She's going to mobilize the army and start a war with Russia. And then if Iran says something again about her son, she's going to start a war with them too. Moreover, when she goes to give speeches and she forgot what she had to say, she can just try to fill it in and say things that she has to fulfill. And if she doesn't fulfill, it will be another reason for the whole world to lose confidence in her, in America. But I think that we need to understand exactly what's happening. Now, Sarah Palin is a product of an education system that needs to be reformed. If we have more people with the same kind of skills that she has, then we're going to be in some serious trouble. And if the education system is preparing people to behave like her, then we ought to, have an educational reformation in which we change and do things better, because we can't afford to have our leaders with her skills. And so it seems as though she's bringing up one and more controversies. Every time she opens her mouth is another controversy, and she thinks that because her name is in the media or up on the high building with neon lights, that it's a sign of affection or popularity or whatever. Now she says that God writes on his hand, and she quoted Isaiah 49:16. So I looked it up, and of course it says that God has written the Jews in the palms of his hand. And when I looked up Clark, he's a renowned Bible scholar. In his commentary, he says that this is certainly an allusion to some practice common among the Jews at that time of making marks on their hands or arms by punctures of the skin on the skin, with sort of sign or representation of the city or temple, to show their affection and zeal for it, and so on. So, God does not have a form, and of course we tend to think of God in terms of a human, so we give him human characteristics. He has a mouth, he has a hand, he has eyes, and all this kind of stuff. But God has no form. And of course Jesus came in and he took on a human form to die, and he had all our parts, etc. But to say that God has to write somebody in his hand to show his affection, or surely that he's going to protect them, etc., it's so ludicrous. And so the more she continues to talk is the more she makes herself unacceptable as a leader and president of the United States. I hope that, you see, if it were possible that when she was nominated to be Senator John McCain's running mate, if she had said nothing, I think they would have won, because she has so much charisma and she looks so smart that you would think that she's definitely tops. But as soon as she started to talk, she started to blow herself away. First thing talking about pit bulls and pig with lipstick and all this stuff. So I think that the least she speaks, I think she still could repair her damage, but she has to stop speaking, because the more she speaks is the more she shows that she's not informed and not educated, and she obstructs her own ability to really make it. So Sarah Palin, my advice to you is stop speaking, and you shall be the president.